Hello and welcome to the Critical Twits, where today we're going to talk to you about a very serious problem that many miniatures gamers have. That came out a bit weird, didn't it? We're going to talk about painter's block and the pile of shame that most miniature players have. We've been trying to tackle our piles for quite a while now. We thought we'd share with you some of the tips and strategies for getting those piles down and making yourself feel good and less itchy. Sorry, Aaron. I'm feeling less bad about the bulk of stuff that you've collected. It's fairly common for miniatures gamers when they get into a new game or they start a new army or a new faction within a game to buy way too much stuff. And it can almost feel like a burden, like psychologically. It can actually kind of harm your enjoyment of your hobby to feel like you've got all this work that you need to do. So we're not going to share painting tips necessarily today, but what we're going to share is some tips and strategies for getting yourself painted and getting back into painting once you kind of got blocked and feel like, oh, I can't be bothered, I don't want to paint, which is something I feel quite often, which is weird about a hobby that should be fun. So Aaron and I are going to share our piles with you now. Aaron's going to go first. Say hello, Aaron.
Hello. I'm in the shop.
No, there you go. There you are.
Now I am. Yeah.
Oh, it's on a stick and it's weird.
Yeah, I've got it zoomed in as well, so it might.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why you were so close.
Yeah, it's to keep the pile of shame.
Yeah. So Aaron, you recently actually, to go with what I just said, started a new faction.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So let's swoop down here.
Yep.
These are your built and undercoated but not yet attempted models.
Yes. There are mostly gremlin factions in there, but you will notice quite a few of the 10 funders models.
Yeah, so we're going to talk mostly Malifaux today, because that's what we play, but this is a common affliction that affects 40k players, fantasy players, Infinity players, Necromunda players. Yeah, anyone who plays any kind of Flames of War, Bolt Action, Kings of War, just naming games, isn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are models what you have put together.
Yes, and they have been sprayed with undercoat, which just on the off chance you haven't done any painting whatsoever, it's just a quick splodge of heavy paint to give it something, the other paint to attach to.
You said you got some 10 Thunders models in there.
Yep.
You've been collecting, you haven't bought any new 10 Thunders for actual years.
No.
These are models that are still piling up.
I show you the two 10 Thunders models I have painted.
Yeah. So
well, I say I painted. I didn't go anywhere near them. Now, this can be some of the problem when you're doing painting things, is that you've got an enjoyment for a particular faction. You get really excited about it, you put them together and you spray them, and then you play it, and then you don't like that faction, like has happened to me, and then you don't paint them because you're angry at them.
Yes. Bitter, full of rage.
Yes.
So 3 years after starting Malifaux, pretty much.
Yeah, I've got two. Yeah, I've only got two. One 10 Thunder model, because I built two, and as other players in our thing have said, you don't need 3 of the models, so I don't bother building any of one.
Yeah.
One Dawn Serpent and a random Samurai.
So you've got most of it built.
Yes, most of it's built and undercoated.
So you've got your 2 models.
2 models that are painted, and these weren't painted by me.
No. These
were painted by my wife.
All right. So I'm in a loving relationship. Cool. So that's the sum of 2 years' work.
Yes. Somebody else's work.
We then have unboxed models and unassembled models.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't put any of this box together at all, which is an entire crew, because I've been putting all the others together. So I've got all the gremlins all kind of at once, as Brian said. You get excited to get loads of the same thing at the same time. Yeah. I've got most of this particular crew box put together, apart from the stupid little fiddly ones. I mean, those are ridiculous, and I'm not looking forward to the little pointy bits on that either.
Yeah, and then the couple little extra 10 Thunder bits on there.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
So mostly together.
And then, how much have you painted since we decided we were going to get our shit painted? About a month and a half ago?
This lot.
Yeah.
Now,
so this is good.
That one, which I started painting a couple of years ago and then gave up on.
Yeah.
The rest of these, now again, the painting has been kind of shared between me and my wife. She's been picking model stuff, so she painted this one, That's bore. And a couple of the piggies and stuff. But the rest of it stuff I've put together and painted, and even based, which is something I don't think I've ever actually done before. Even when I was playing 40k, I never bothered putting stuff on the bases to make them look nice. I was just left them plain and repainted the black where I'd splodged.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my piles now.
Yeah.
So let's start with the unassembled and unbased and whatnot stuff, which all lives in this box here. Yeah. I counted the other day because I needed to buy some new bases. There are 30 models in there. Now, Malifaux is a game where you play 6 to 15 models a side.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's like 2 armies worth.
Yeah.
Then if you come to my right, Aaron, this is my.
Zoom out for.
A couple of these are in the wrong place. There we go. Oh, it looks ever so much better now. These are my assembled and unpainted models.
This is starting to look like a shot from like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Again, bear in mind you only need 6 to 15 models, depending on what they are, to play a good game, a proper sized game. This is everything that I've started painting in some fashion and have not finished.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit of the shadow of that, so apologies for the slight blackness on this.
Now my problem is I have 3 different factions here. I have Guild, Outcasts and Neverborn.
So you sort of pick and choose the painting based on what you're looking forward to playing against, I suppose.
So here we've got this section here, 22 models. This is 3 years worth of painting. Now, some of these models I'm quite proud of and they look quite nice.
Yes. Yeah.
But I definitely haven't been painting consistently for 3 years. So again, as I said, we've set ourselves a little challenge. This is the fruits of less than 6 weeks painting.
So that, compared to that.
Yes. This is 11 models, this is 22.
Yeah.
So by the end of March, I will have painted in 2018 more than I managed in 2015, 2016 and 2017 combined. So I feel we're in a good place to share some of our tips with you. I've got some notes here, so I can look at things. Why bother painting models though, Aaron? Why do you think we should actually bother? Because there's nothing wrong with playing a game with grey plastic.
No.
But I think it looks so much better when stuff is painted.
Massively. I think I cared about the models a little bit more that were on the table that I started or mostly finished painting, and now I've got these. I want to play with them because they're nice and shiny looking.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, kind of. You paint the models, you want to use them, and then that gets you painting some more stuff because you want to try this with the army or that with the crew or that other thing. Yeah. And so, you get kind of a bit of hobby momentum built up, which is quite good. There's always that superstition that painted models do better than unpainted models. Yeah,
I would argue yes, but equally like I've got better crews that I decided to paint versus the ones I didn't paint because they were poo.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe that's kind of, again, self-fulfilling, is that you paint the ones you're enjoying playing.
Yeah.
But I think also, it's kind of, I genuinely feel like a weight of guilt. I've spent a lot of money on all of this, and yet I haven't done all the full hobby for it.
Yeah.
And I'm now in a position where I currently have less money than I used to, and therefore kind of putting the brakes on the spending and actually getting my money's worth and getting my hobby time out of the models I've got is a good way of stopping me running off and buying new toys or whatever. I mean, this is a common problem. Aaron, if you have a look at that top shelf up there, everything on the top shelf of this bookshelf is unread, just to share. So it's not just a hobby problem. I think anyone with any kind of collecting or any other kind of hobby may experience this. I mean, we shared a couple of weeks ago, we shared my cupboard of shame with board games in it. I know you've got board games that you bought years ago that we haven't played yet.
Yeah.
So I thought what we would have a little chat. What got us going in the first place was an event. We went to a tournament, which you can hear on our podcast. We talked about a tournament, which was a fixed crew tournament. So you had a very small list to play. And so I started painting some of these for that.
Yeah.
And some of these half painted ones in here I also started. So I was playing a Sonia crew, so I've got her totem, I've got Witchling Thrall, which is just amazing, and I've got Dr. Rafkin because I was bored of painting brown and black and he was white and it felt different. So that was good, and we decided to, as a group, we would see if we could, well, we'd sort of have a competition. So almost as an event amongst ourselves. To get as much painted. So I've set myself the goal of painting 1 soulstone per day, which would amount to about 365 soulstones in a year. Is it a leap year? No, that was 2 years ago, wasn't it? 365.
Cool.
Yes. Knowledge bomb. And that's quite doable. There will still be models left.
Yeah.
Even though an average game is 50 soulstones. You can change this out for points. You might want to paint 100 points a month for 40k, or a Panzer division every 3.5 weeks for one of them there World War games. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. But going back to that original thing, the idea of going, right, I'm going to go to a tournament. A lot of tournaments for games are like painted only. The one we went to wasn't, but it gave me that I didn't want to be the only person there with an unpainted force. I wasn't in the end, and I got some of it painted. But we're going to go to another one in March, so I want to get all of my stuff painted for that, and that really helps to sort of motivate and get things moving. The other thing I've been doing a lot is having a painting buddy. So I now have someone, we sit on the sofa and we do some painting. It's good. It's good. Yeah. And you mentioned your wife, Erin.
Yes. Yeah. The painting day we did 2 years ago. She came along to have a play, found enjoyment. When I said I wanted to start doing my painting, she picked up the paints and joined in as well. Yeah. And she's probably more eager about it than I am. And I think that helps. If one of you's a bit flagged with it, the other person's still eager, can it help give you a bit of edge? You get to keep going. Yeah. They're doing it, so why don't on you?
Yeah. So making it a sociable thing.
Yeah.
Because people often think sitting alone, painting your models on your own. Actually, making it a social thing can kind of take away that, oh, I've got to do some painting.
Yeah.
And make it a bit more fun.
Yeah.
Or if you are going to paint on your own, so my third tip is to find something to watch or to listen to while you do it. I find if I'm going to watch something, it'll be something that I've watched before because my eyes are taken up looking at the model, but my ears get bored.
Yeah.
Get bored ears. We all get bored ears from time to time. So I've been watching a lot of Friends again. Yeah. Not like people that I know, like in a tree with binoculars. Weird.
So the old videotapes of it stashed that you're replaying again. Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been like watching that. But I find another thing that's really good is I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. And actually listening to a hobby podcast while you're doing your hobby can be really good. So for Malifaux, I've been listening to the Red Jokers. Who are our friends from Australia. Hello, Australia. I've been listening to Schemes and Stones. So while I was painting my master, I was listening to how to use said master, which was quite nice. Yeah. And also Brookside Broadcast, which does a lot of the background and the fluff kind of stuff. Cool. Which again, I find, it's inspiring. You hear a cool story about a model, you want to grab that model and paint it.
Yeah.
And so again, it's another way of getting that kind of that momentum, and rather than going, oh, I've got all this stuff to do, like actually I'm enthused to do it. Yeah. One thing I do a lot is I mix it up. So I mentioned that I painted, the only reason I painted this chap is because he was in the crew, but it was a different colour. Yeah. And I'll try and find something different. I don't like batch painting. It's something we'll talk about. It's actually, it can be quite quick to do batch painting. But after I've done a batch, I might do like a single character on their own. Yeah. It's completely different and maybe to a higher standard.
That's your batch painting can get a bit monotonous because you're doing the same thing.
And then you're feeling bored, and then you don't want to carry on, you don't want to do any more. So a lot of these half painted models are from a batch where I started working through it, and I was like, I can't be bothered. So I just kind of, I'm now going to finish them off individually to keep me going. Yeah. I painted all of my little Daydream models. These are all in theory the same model in the game, but I painted them a different colour because it felt different. Yeah. And felt more interesting. I also got myself some cheap wins. So like can I paint a model really, really quickly and feel good and be like, I painted a model, let's do another one and get a little bit of that momentum going. So this thing here, this was all dry brushing, this steam trunk.
I really like that.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
That took an hour and a half from start to finish.
All right, show off.
I painted Baby Cade, who is tiny. Let's put him next to a normal sized person.
Ooh, zoom out.
Tiny, tiny model.
Yeah.
Because he was also like 3 colours.
Yeah.
Took almost no time at all. I did pick up this is Candy. And I decided, I got inspired to paint her because I realised I could paint her like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, yeah.
Blue and white dress.
Yeah.
That's cool. Absolute pain in the backside. Took about 3 times longer than I thought. So it wasn't a cheap win because of the amount of detail on the model.
Yes, I found with some of these, I mean, like the boars and the pigs and things were nice and quick and easy.
Yeah, lots of skin, not a lot else.
Yeah, so I started off with those. But I found I'll do one small model. Oh god, that's getting fiddly and awkward. I'll move on to a slightly larger model where I can mess up a little bit more and not get as stressed about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, changing sizes and detailed models does help as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, there's different ways of kind of mixing it up and making it more interesting for you. Now, another thing that I do with mixed success is to give myself little rewards or incentives. So I might be like, if I get these basic bog standard guys painted, I get to paint something that's a bit different and a bit fun. So using that to kind of incentivise. Or I might be, if I get this crew painted, then I can buy the extra model to go in the crew that I want to do.
It's a good way of curbing your spending and encouraging you to paint at the same time.
So it's kind of making a little mental note. Now there's nothing forcing me to do that. But mentally, kind of having that agreement with yourself, like, I won't keep adding to this pile here of unpainted stuff until I've done a bit of it, and then I'm allowed something shiny. That can be a nice way of doing it. Yeah. And also, I mean, I sat down. Each crew in Malifaux is led by a master. Kind of in a proper sized game, you have to have a master. I've painted my first master. Ooh. Finished it this week. So there she is, there's Pandora. This is the first ever box set, first model, she comes with some bits and pieces, that I ever bought for Malifaux. And it's taken 3 years for me to get round and paint her. I was holding back on painting the masters because you want them to be centrepiece models, you want to do your best. And I was always feeling rusty because I wasn't painting consistently. So I never felt like I was going to do a good job on a master model. But once I painted all of this really quickly, I was like, actually, I'm going to get her done. And I was like, if I get her done, I've got a full crew. I can play a game with a fully painted army, crew, but fully painted force on the table for the first time ever playing this game. And that got me through to like, yes, I want to get this done and I want to get that done. Yeah. And it made me want to finish Candy because she comes in the box and she's very good with her. And it kind of, you know, there was that kind of that goal that I'd set of like, I'm going to play a game. Yeah. So I was quite excited. Yeah. Another thing that I do now is, if you come with me, Aaron. Oh. Now. So depending on who or what you live with, you might not be able to do this. But one thing I've done is leave my painting stuff out. As you can see, it's highly organised. Cough. But I'd left the models out, so I didn't have that hassle of having to get my paints out, get everything sorted, sort my palette out, and there's like admin around getting your painting done. I could just literally go, cool, actually I'm in the mood to paint, sit down and get painted. Yeah. So if you've got an area where you can set up and leave bits out, even if you're only leaving out the paints that you need for the specific model, that's a really, really good way of sort of breaking that kind of that block of going, oh, I can't be bothered. And actually it's really easy because you literally just pick up your model and get painting. Yeah.
We have a little table very similar to this size, but it opens up with compartments inside. So in order to keep the living room neat, all the painting stuff goes in there, but it takes 10 seconds to get it out, so it's not an actual chore to get on with stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's that nice easy access to stuff.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool, let's fast forward. So there's the tips. So hopefully there might be something in there that you can use. Whether it's going out and finding a really cool podcast that will get you enthused, whether it's clearing yourself a little area where you can get your painting done consistently, or any of the other things that we've mentioned. Hopefully that can help you reduce the pile of shame. Because this makes me want to ring a bell, or have a bell rung at me by a nun. Some kind of Game of Thrones reference anyway. But this is sad. This actually feels weighty.
Yeah.
I hadn't put this out. This took ages to get these models out of my box, and I realised quite how much they are. But because I've done so much in such a short space of time recently, I don't feel anywhere near as bad about it.
No.
As I did, because I know that actually a little bit of effort, they're gonna get themselves finished. So that's good. Yeah. So if you've got any tips on how you kind of break your painter's block, or how to motivate yourself while painting, or even just cool things that you watch or listen to that you think you'd like to share, let us know in the comments. If you really enjoy this, we're going to probably revisit the pile of shame at some point, but we'll be sharing more tips and tricks on anything to do with tabletop gaming as soon as we can. So please feel free to subscribe. Say goodbye, Aaron.
Goodbye.